The people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. Those who dwelt in a land of deep darkness, on them light has shined. Thou hast multiplied the nation. Thou hast increased its joy. They rejoice before thee as with joy at the harvest, as men rejoice when they divide the spoil. For the yoke of his burden, and the staff of his shoulder, the rod of his oppressor, thou hast broken, as on the day of Midian. For every boot of the tramping warrior in battle tumult, and every garment rolled in blood, will be burned as fuel for the fire. For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be upon his shoulder, and his name will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and of peace there will be no end upon the throne of David and over his kingdom, to establish it and to uphold it with justice and with righteousness from this time forth and forevermore. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will do this. Isaiah chapter 9, verses 2 through 7. For many Christian denominations, today marks the beginning of Advent, a season of preparation to celebrate the birth of Jesus. For all who follow Christ, this season of Advent is an invitation to reflect on the significance of Jesus coming into this world, fully divine and fully human. The prophecy of Isaiah chapter 9 tells us that Jesus coming into this world is indeed a significant moment. It is a joyous moment, even a miraculous moment. Why should this be? What is so remarkable about the coming of a son, even a son of the lineage of King David, that it should occasion such praise? We are given at least a part of the answer in the beginning of the prophecy. During the time of Isaiah, the people of Israel were very much in a dark place. Historically, at this time, the Israelites were fractured and divided into the kingdoms of Judah and Israel. The kings had turned away from God, and the kingdoms themselves were beset by rising Middle Eastern powers such as the Assyrians and later the Babylonians. To the people of Israel wandering in that darkness, Isaiah brought a message of hope. In his prophecy of a new birth, of a birth of a son to the line of King David, Isaiah gave the people of Israel a promise by God that there would be a rebirth. The people would not dwell in darkness forever. Tears and trial and tribulation would not be their eternal destiny. There would be a new birth, the birth of a son destined to sit on the throne of King David, to rule over God's people with justice and with righteousness. In every way, a rebirth of the people of Israel. This was Isaiah's prophecy to the people of Israel. This was God's promise to the people of Israel. At the time of Jesus' birth, the people of Israel were again in a dark place. The land of Israel was occupied by the Romans, aided and abetted by the corrupt Herodian kings. The priests of the Second Temple had become corroded and corrupted by cynicism. In every seat of authority governing the people of Israel, politics had replaced principle. Still, God's promise to the people of Israel held. The darkness would not last forever. Tears and trial and tribulation were not their eternal destiny. And so Jesus was born. The Son of God was born into this world, born into the house of King David. Through his ministry on earth, he taught his disciples how to once again lead lives of righteousness and justice. Through his teachings, he showed his followers how to confront oppression with love and not with hate. Through his sacrifice on the cross at Calvary, he became the perfect guilt offering for all mankind's sins, that those who follow him might be redeemed, freed from the burdens of past sins and transgressions, freed to move forward in life along a path of righteousness and justice. Rather than establish an earthly kingdom, one destined to fall and fade away, Jesus established a kingdom of the Spirit, a kingdom whose increase would never end, whose peace would never end. In this kingdom, Jesus truly is the wonderful Counselor, the mighty God, the everlasting Father, and the Prince of Peace. We need only turn on the nightly news to know the people of the world are still very much in a dark place. Nations and communities and families are fractured and divided. Many of those with authority have turned their backs on God and on God's law, wielding their authority with the cynical calculation of politics and not the clear commitment to principle. God's promise still holds even now. The darkness will not last. Tears and trial and tribulation are no more our eternal destiny than they were that of the people of Israel. For Jesus was born. Unto us God's Son has been given. The government does sit upon his shoulders, a kingdom of spirit that increases even now and will increase without end. And his kingdom is open to all who will but choose to follow him and follow God, who will accept his sacrifice on the cross at Calvary, that their sins might be forgiven. In his kingdom, we are freed, reborn into lives of peace and mercy and justice and righteousness. The world can be a very dark place. Yet in all its darkness, Isaiah's prophecy and God's promise remain eternally true. The darkness will not last. Tears and trial and tribulation are not our eternal destiny. As we make our way through the world, I pray we all can remember the prophecy and the promise. In this season of Advent, I pray we can recall Isaiah's words and remember how powerfully they have been fulfilled. For Jesus was born. Unto us God's Son has been given. The government does sit upon his shoulders. Of its increase and of peace, there will be no end. Thank you for listening, and God bless you.